What's going on, everyone? Meatwagon back with part 4 of the 4-player strategy involving the 7 perks for all players. Now that we got all that Easter egg mumbo jumbo out of the way, it's time to get busy with the stakeout upgraded to the raid. All 4 players have the stakeout. You can see when I get pushed back in the corner, you see that spike more go off? We have some strategically placed spike more sitting behind us, facing different directions. You know, if I need to back up, I've got one placed to my left side, you know, pointing straight at him. Another one kind of facing backwards if they push past that. That way, they don't both get set off at the same time. And the other players behind me are doing the same thing with their spike mores, kind of placing them in different directions to kind of cover you if you need to back up a little bit. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up, you'll see a lot with the shotgun. You don't see it as much with the LMG because I spray so much and I spray a lot from the hip, is when you have Deadshot Daiquiri, what's happening, because these zombies are running down at me on this hill. It's a decline, you know, coming from a higher point down to the lower point where I'm at. Sometimes the front zombie, when I go to aim in on them, the stupid Deadshot will actually draw into the one behind that zombie. And, you know, because that one will be too far away, it'll basically waste a shot and allow that front one to close the distance on me. So, you know, people saying that Deadshot Daiquiri is like the ultimate headshot perk, it's not true. It actually can mess with you a little bit when it comes to the aim assist and how it will draw into a different zombie depending on exactly where your crosshairs are at. Now, without that, you know, without that perk, I tend to find that the aim assist will help you draw in on the closest zombie to you. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, I tend to waste a little bit more ammo, and it looks like I'm just bad at aim, but it's actually the game drawing the sight into a different zombie that I want to shoot at. So what you'll see is on this particular game, you see that spike more? It was facing backward. It was facing backward, so as soon as he passed it, it shot backward and took him out. That's what I was saying. I have my claymores kind of set in opposing directions. That way, they won't both go off and waste 2 spike mores on one, you know, on one zombie coming at you. Because all you really want them there for is, as you're backing up, you might be reloading or something like that. At this point in time, that's what the spike mores are used for. To buy you a little bit of time if you're backing up to reload. So, what was I saying? Oh, in this one, yeah, I tend to hip fire more in this particular game just because I found that in this position where I'm standing here, I'll show you. See, I'm putting 1 spike more there. 1 spike more there. Now, those 2 are in 2 different areas. So the second one I placed would actually go off first, and then that other one would go off if, you know, the next round that comes in. So, you know, experiment with your spike more placements. All 4 players should have them because they do help out a lot, especially, you know, 4 players having 2 spike mores each every round, and every time you get max ammo. It really comes in handy to buy you a little time. But you'll see that I hip fire a lot more in this game than normal. See that right there? Did you see that? It's drawing to the zombies behind him, not the one up close to me. So I started really picking up on that. And with the LMG, you can see they're not only coming from straight in front of me, but sometimes they're coming from my right. And if I'm ADSing or aiming down the sights, I lose sight of the ones on my right, and it's harder for me to have a quick movement over to them because you're obviously slower in your turn speed when you're ADSing. So if you're good with hip firing, meaning you can be fairly accurate with it, aiming for the chest, you know, the upper chest and head, you're not going to waste as many bullets as everybody thinks. You know, at the end of this game, go ahead and look at my head. You know, you see how much I'm hip firing. Go ahead and look at the very end of this video series and see how many headshots I've got, and you can see it worked out pretty good for me. You know, just keep an eye on, you know, I know a lot of people have a tendency to tell Spider to aim down the sights, because I know that his tendency is to actually hip fire you know, a higher percentage of the time. But he's used to doing that, you know. That's how when we play Search and Destroy, because he's a rusher, he's running and hip firing, not stopping and taking time to aim down his sights. He can stay a lot more mobile even when he engages in a gunfight. It's the same thing with the zombies. The idea with zombies are, the zombie survival is to be more mobile than the zombie. To be able to get through, maybe get past them, get out of a really tight position or something like that. And if you're sitting there kind of immobile, stationary, ADSing, you're just asking for trouble. You're going to ask for trouble. So, you know, a lot of times right here, when I get them lined up, I'll go ahead and aim down my sights, try and pop their heads off. It works out good. But sometimes when I'm starting to get pushed back or overrun, or they're coming from different directions, you're going to see me drop that gun down and just hip fire. Just hip fire, you know? And, you know, the other thing is, you got to remember, these games that you're seeing, like I said, this one in particular was 5 hours long. We spent a lot of time up front doing the 7 perk Easter egg for each of us, that when we get to this point, we've been playing for hours already. You know, it's not like we just jumped on and everything's perfect and you're shooting 5 bullets and knifing and doing all that crapola. That's not what it is. Now it's about just spray your ammo, have fun, survive, you know, do whatever you need to do to move on to the next round. So that's what we're doing. So, you know, you can't be as critical on these games, watching what we're doing, you know, asking, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? Well, I don't know. I don't know. You know, you play for 5 hours, do what we do, and then see how you end up playing. It's a lot different when you're actually in the game doing it. We're not going for anything specific here. And see what happened right there? Someone said they had a crawler. Okay? Someone had a crawler before the end of that round. So the other players continue to shoot and kill zombies. Well, that other crawler died and no one called it out. So now we ended the round, and you can see I've got 1 magazine in my HK here. My raid shotgun is totally out of ammo, and the other players are kind of in the same boat. They're out of ammo too, at least in their secondary, if not their primary as well. So communication in these higher rounds, that you're going to waste, or not waste, you're going to use a lot of your ammo, if not all of your ammo per round. And you know, obviously the MPL is right here. I could go buy it off the wall. I don't know how much damage it's going to do before I have to continually buy that ammo. Now, later on, when we're trying to decide what wall weapons we're going to have upgraded so we can buy the ammo, I decide to go with the 74U. I think Spider or one of the guys goes with the MPL. All right, it's got a smaller magazine capacity and overall ammo count. So you're going to be buying, and a lot less damage too. So you're going to be buying ammo a lot more. You're not going to get as much, you know, bang for your buck out of 4,500 points having to rebuy that ammo, you know, 5-10 times a round to get through that round. So that's something you want to think about when you're deciding, A, where are you going to stand, you know, to at least start the round, and B, what off-the-wall gun are you going to use? It needs to be, oh, look at this. Nice. Epic. Come on. 3 teammates sitting back there. Help a brother out. You gotta decide what wall weapon you're going to use and the accessibility of it. You know, where is it at in relation to either where you're going to start, or if you have a certain route that you're going to be taking, like, you know, like I am here, I'm just took off because I'm out of ammo. I was going for stakeout ammo, but look what happens. Max ammo. Just before. And I think I almost get myself into trouble here. I think this area here isn't bad when you're on the move, but look at this. Look how long it takes, so long to switch out from those stupid stake mores back to your gun and reload your gun, and you know, it takes a long time to do that. What I was trying to do was place a spike more aiming at that cliff, and then I would just look back toward the waterfall. And it's not a bad area when you're on the run, okay? And you'll see from this point out, we start off maybe standing our ground, but then we all end up taking off and moving around. When you get on the run, know some of the areas where you can actually stop and stand your ground for a little bit when you're out on your own. And that's one decent area. Especially if you have spike moors to cover your backside. But you're going to see, I'm pretty sure later on I get up in that area and I get down because they come from the waterfall, they come up the cliff, and there's a window in the rocks there that they come through, and I just got stuck. Most of the times I go down, I got stuck on some kind of weird invisible barrier of some kind. You see right here, I'm trying to get back to hypermole, but there's a flamer zombie up there, so I'm calling it out to the other guys to come down across the bridge to pick them up. I'll go up and blow up. Watch, headbutt. Yeah, take that, flamer. You give those flamers a little headbutt, and then wherever they blow up, it's almost like a wall protecting you, because that wall of napalm, after they blow up, will actually take the zombies out. So you can utilize those napalm zombies to your benefit. You know, strategically blow them up, maybe either in a hallway or at the beginning of a cave entrance. Now you know that area is going to be blocked off from zombies for a short period of time. It's pretty handy to utilize that for strategic purposes, because they don't really hurt you. You see what I did? I went up and headbutted him. Bam! Headbutt right to the face. Blew his ass up, and then used his fire and flame wall to my advantage. That's what you want to look for. Think about those things. You know, it's hard to think about things when you're running around like this. You could see me hip firing like crazy. Yeah, I wasted a lot of ammo there, but you know what? I didn't go down, and that's more important. Not going down. Waste your ammo. If you need to spray and pray, do it. Just do it, man. Don't even worry about it. Right now I'm calling out to Bentley that one of his refibrillator knives are back here. He was asking if we saw any of his knives. He's got the upgraded ballistic knife and Bowie knife, so he's able to revive people from a distance with the shot from that refibrillator, which comes in really handy as well, because from this point on, you're going to go down. Teammates are going to go down. You're going to go down. You're going to be reviving each other, and that's when it becomes super fun. Really, really fun. You can see, beginning of round 19, we're starting in this little area. You want an area typically that you start from and that you know you have a couple of different escape routes. When you have all your teammates here with you and you've got a fair amount of ammo, you're going to be able to stand your ground again. Look at this. Just ownage. Just line up for me. Just like shooting fish in a barrel. This is a really good spot. Right there is a good spot for someone who wants to build a bunch of points. If you've got the right weapons, stand in the spot that I am, make your teammates cover your backside, and the other two cover the opposite side of this building here. This is a good place for points. So if you're communicating with teammates, someone else may have a better weapon than you to stand this ground. They need more points. They may have just upgraded or something. Let them take this position. This is a good spot. As well as just on the other side, because they jump. You can see them going off to the right there. They jump off over the wall from the minecart area, right by that perk machine, and they come out of the cave as well. So that side's real active, this side's real active, and then the two people at the windows can kill the ones at the windows and also assist shooting up this direction. It works out really good for points. I mean, look at my points. I'm at, what, 23,000, over 23,000 right now, just from sitting in this area. And I'm going to need those points. Look at my HK is almost out of ammo. I'm down to my last mag already. You know, and it just gets worse and worse as far as ammo conservation or the ability to have ammo for the next round. You know, we go and we box hoard up a little bit, and I finally decide, look, I'm going for the ray gun 74U combo and just go with that. Problem is, I believe that coming up in some of these next rounds, some of these next videos, you're going to see some teammates go down in really bad places, all right? And there's just no way we can get to them. There's no way. Sometimes there's no way to get to them, and whether you're out of monkey bombs or whatever it is, even if someone goes down in the spawn area, even if you have one monkey bomb, that doesn't mean that you're going to get to them and get out of there. It took 2 monkey bombs for me to revive Spider when he was in there, and that's just because the time it takes you to get from wherever you're at to wherever they're at, get in there, revive them, and get back out of there. You need to get out of there. There's way too many entrances in the spawn area. There's 4 windows and the 2 spiked hallways. That's too many entrances. It's a terrible area to stay, no matter what weapons you have. do not stay in the spawn area. Use it as a transition area. But one of the things that I found after moving around this map, and you're going to see the areas that I go down, is the spawn area. And whenever I'm underground, okay? When I'm underground, I seem to get caught up on just weird random things. I was backing up shooting right basically below where we're at now, in where I call the pressure plate room, where the pressure plate is for the Easter egg, where the not the minecart, but the water slide lets you out, and there's the water spout that shoots you up by the minecart. I'm backing up through there, and I just back into a wall. It won't let me basically strafe left or right, and then I just get swarmed. You know, that's the thing about the zombies and making maps that annoys me a little bit, is the idea that you can get hung up on something that you're not like hung up on a boulder or something on the ground. It's a wall. It's a flat wall. Why can't you strafe off of that thing? So something to keep in mind. Watch out when you're underground. Underground is a bad place to be with 4 players, because if you're not communicating, you could cross paths, and the horde behind you and behind them, you'll intersect and you'll both get stuck wherever you meet up. So that's the end of this video. I'm going to get another one up real soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.